Hoosier Hill. That's where we're going. Hoosier Hill. We're going to Hoosier Hill. Yeah, that's what we're doing. So I've never actually done anything like this, and now I'm in the middle of a street with a lot of people, and I'm nervous about it. There's nothing to be nervous about. And now we're on Votaw Street.
For 16 miles, continue straight on.
That's pretty easy. I can continue straight for 16 miles. So basically, this is going to be like a personal journal. Once a week, I'm going to go on some kind of adventure. Whatever that may be. You know, I might just, like today, I'm going to Hoosier Hill. I've never been to Hoosier Hill. I've been a Hoosier my whole life, and I've never been to Hoosier Hill. This is like a little pilgrimage. I feel like I was meant to do this. Like, this is what I'm supposed to do. No, but the plan is once a week to go on some kind of adventure and record it, so that in 20 years and 30 years I can look back on this and go, oh wow, I really was a stupid kid, wasn't I? No, it'll be fun. I don't know a damn thing about being entertaining, so, you know, if anybody else stumbles across this and you enjoy it, that's awesome. That's great. Thank you so much. If you don't, that's okay. You know what? If every single one of my videos only has one view on it, and it's me, that's just great. That's perfect too.
Stay in the right lane.
Okay, I will stay in the right lane. Seems like the whole city of Portland is out today. Portland, Indiana, that is. I've not lived here very long. It's a pretty small town, smaller than where I grew up. I don't know anybody here. It's not a bad little town. It's not quite as pretty as Wabash, but you know, it's something. But I need to get out. I need to go somewhere else. You know, I work here. I live here by myself, my own little apartment. So once in a while, I need to not see this town. And that's just the plan. You know, I named the channel Quest US because, you know, I plan to do this every week. If I go somewhere new every week, there's a good chance I'm not gonna stay in Indiana doing that. There's only so much to see here. I mean, I live pretty close to Ohio as well, so you know, I might go and see some of that. But I don't know. Some weeks it might just be something like Hoosier Hill. Other weeks I might go to fucking Texas. I don't know. What's in Texas? The world's largest spool of yarn. Probably. I don't know. They've got some big cows there. Them longhorns. They look pretty cool. I like them. As for how they taste, I couldn't tell you. Maybe I've eaten one before and just not known it. Maybe they don't actually sell those for produce. I don't know. It's a wee bit bright out today. It's a wee bit sunny. A little bit hot. I don't have AC in my car. I've actually not been on this side of Portland. Looks like I'm in a town called College Corner. As far as I know, there's not a college over here, but you know what? As long as we're just calling towns whatever we want to, let's go with it. College Corner. I'm on my way to Deerfield, and about 45 miles from Richmond. Richmond's a nice little city. They've got it figured out over there. That's pretty. Right on the Ohio border. Good little town. No, but I actually have no idea how this is going to sound in recording. I have no microphones. I've just got my phone hooked up to my rear view here. Looks like it's holding pretty well. There's that at least. As far as how the sound's going to be, yeah, good question. My car's pretty loud. I drive an 05 Ford Taurus, so you know it's got that trademark Ford rust going on. It's pretty jankety, pretty loud. You hear the wind going through. I wonder if I even shut my driver door all the way. Hold on here a second. Nope, she's shut. It's just loud. My window rolled down? Nope. Just loud. I might even swing through Winchester. I've been to Winchester, but it's looks like it's the closest town to Hoosier Hill. So yeah, I might get that a shot. See what's going on there. Could be fun. I like small towns and historic architecture. Civil War era, post-Civil War. There's a lot of that in Indiana. Not quite as old as Boston or, you know, Jamestown or something like that, but still cool nonetheless. At least I think so. Not everybody agrees. No, people would rather go to Chicago, you know, or fucking Indianapolis or some shit. Let me tell you, those are some of the nastiest fucking cities I've ever been to in my life. I mean, Chicago's pretty from a distance, right? You get the skyline, you know. You don't go anywhere else except for the couple blocks in downtown, and you'll have a great time. It's great. That is, if you have, you know, a couple grand sitting in your pocket to buy, you know, shit you can get online. But no, I don't know. I guess I'm just not big on big cities. I love small little towns with some character, architecture, natural landscape. Not that there's a lot of that in Indiana. It's a lot of farmland. You can't see much out my window right now, but yep, it's just flat. Nothing super crazy. You know, that'd be a cool idea if I got like a separate camera, set it on my dash, had one at the road, one at me, and like played them at the same time. That could be cool. I don't know. Could be fun. But no, I figure it's a good way to get back into a hobby of mine, which was just driving around. I remember ever since I got my car, or even before, you know, I used to just bike places. I just loved going and seeing shit. Somebody would say, "Oh, well, here's this, you know, there's this big rock, you know, over here," and you know, and I'd want to go see it. And that's what I'd do. And I'd read up on the history about it. And
In 10 miles, keep left onto US 27.
10 miles. Yeah, you know, I love history, and there's a lot of it here. You know, it doesn't look like it, but no, it's just sleeping. The whole state of Indiana is kind of sleeping, to be honest with you. You know, we used to be the automobile capital of the country, really. I mean, just about anything you could imagine was made here. You know, you had your Ford, you had your Studebaker, GMC, Dodge. You know, they all made stuff out of here. You know, and in Detroit as well. So I guess it wasn't just Indiana by any means. But no, we were big on the automobile industry, and in the 70s, all the companies they left. As the auto industry got real powerful, people were you know, asking for higher wages, better treatment, and the auto industry said, well, you know, fuck that, we can just go to Mexico, pay them 10 cents an hour to make these cars instead of paying you 30, So that's what they did. And in the 70s, Indiana fucking collapsed. And it's still, it's still kind of rebuilding. It's here recently we've seen some growth in like Hamilton County, or Westfield, Noblesville, Carmel. All of them are. But that's all been recent, like in the last 10 years. I mean, I lived there for a short while, and it's just unrecognizable now. You've got old country roads, and then right next to it's a big fucking busy freeway with all these businesses. It's pretty fascinating. But where I'm at right now, over in far east Indiana, like central east, I would say, not quite north. There's not shit here. It's like Ohio extended. Really, it is. There's a couple cities. There's Richmond. There's Muncie, which is a little farther central. Winchester's got about 10,000 people in it, so technically a city. But nothing real crazy out here. Doesn't bother me any. I like the quiet. I just don't like the same quiet. Looks like we're getting into Randolph County. I've spent some time in Randolph County. Leaving Jay County now. Whew, got something in my eye. Not good when you got the sun in your eye. Yeah, hopefully I can hear all this. I have no idea if any of this is going to be able to be heard through that microphone on my phone. I'm sure it'll be alright. I could probably do some post-editing, get rid of some of that background noise. Discount muffler. Don't need one of those. Not on this fucking car. Tell you what, I'm planning on getting a truck. Something, anything, I don't care. Just some old beat up pickup. And I'm start going to storage unit auctions and reselling some of that stuff. Make some money. I've always wanted to start a business of some kind. In high school, some buddies of mine, they did most of the work, and I kind of just had the ideas and was loud. I'm good at that. We started like a historical tour company in my hometown. Very fitting place. There's a lot of history there. It was the first electrically lighted city in the world, Wabash, Indiana. Oddly enough, there were some weird political things that led to that, but that's a whole story for another day. I'll probably go there, do some kind of video on it. I know that place like the back of my hand, that entire county. There's so much natural landscape there. I'm ready to see something new that I've never seen before. Like Deerfield, Indiana. That's where we are right now. It's pretty quaint. Little auto sales shop. It's like a couple dudes talking about a truck. It's a pretty little church. It's actually a very pretty little church. I like that. Very small little town. A couple houses. See, all these old towns fascinate me though, because back in the day they all had high schools, which, I mean, it's not that spectacular or anything. Oh, I bet you this right here. I bet you this was the high school building right here. What is that? Jefferson, 1910. That just says Jefferson on it. It looks like a school building. No, it's amazing because back in the day, turn of the century, 1900, every small town in Indiana, no matter how small it was, a couple hundred people, had a high school. Every single one. Because school buses weren't really a readily available thing. Oh, now I'm in Randolph, Indiana. It's crazy how these towns are just right on top of each other. And it's just a couple houses, some farm fields. Nothing left of Randolph, or whatever Randolph was, or who he was. No, before school buses, every town had its own high school. And I'm not even talking one-room schoolhouses. I'm talking yearbooks, alumni, teachers, and sports teams. Every small town in Indiana had a basketball team. That was their pride and joy. And, now that they're just gone. In the 60s, there was a big, huge push across the nation, but especially in Indiana, for consolidation. Because high schools that were graduating, 20 kids a class, just weren't sufficient. Nobody was getting, a proper education. Nobody could fill sports teams. Basically, everybody had to do everything if they wanted anything. Which, there's some upsides to that, but there's a lot of downsides too. It's important to meet all kinds of people during your early years, developmental years, especially in high school. And when there's only 20 kids in your class, you're not getting really any kind of diversity there. Hell, I graduated from a school. My class had, I think, 70 kids in it, so not much bigger. It's probably about time they consolidated, but that's a whole other issue. Maybe I'll cover that, just for my own peace of mind. But no, it's super fascinating. Every single small town had a mascot, something they could rally behind. They had an identity, so obviously, during that consolidation push, there was a big push against it, because it was like that basketball team, that group of 5 young men, was that town's entire identity. Like Rowan,
In
Indiana,
2 miles,
Rowan
keep
Indians.
left onto US 27.
Their basketball team was their pride and joy. Or Somerset. Or Urbana. Chippewa. Treaty, Indiana. These little podunk towns. It was just, everybody had something to rally behind, and everybody was close. They had something in common. And I think people could benefit from that today, and some towns have that, some towns don't. A lot of people, especially in Indiana, don't have a lot of pride for their towns because, well, they're in rough shape. They hit their prime in the 70s, and all the auto industry left, and now they're just a sad shell of what they were. Pretty low income communities, not the best schools, not a whole lot of shopping, to go around, unless you want to drive an hour, oftentimes. People used to be very proud of their small towns and their sports teams and their high schools and their businesses and their history. And that's kind of gone away. It's an odd thing, really. Everybody's too busy hating each other to realize that we have a lot in common. Yeah. Okay. Well, we had a cut there. No matter where you sit, politically, financially, whatever, we all have a lot in common. Oddly enough.
In 11 miles, turn left onto US 36.
11 miles. Turn left onto US 36. All right. No, it's definitely fascinating. Looks like there's a little town here that I'm gonna drive past. No, I love this state, and I think on the horizon there's some good things coming to Indiana. It's a very pretty place to be. The winters are harsh, but the fall is gorgeous. It's definitely the crown jewel of the Hoosier state, this fall. Summers are hot, there's lots of lakes and rivers, swimming pools, ice cream shops and everything else. Keep you cool in the summertime. In the spring, the spring's kind of nasty. Not gonna lie, the spring's kind of nasty, but it's pretty in its own right. No, it's a good place to be. You get to experience a little bit of each season. It's not just hot all the time or cold all the time, or and you can find yourself in a podunk town with 50 people in it and be 10 minutes away from Carmel, Indiana. Indiana's crazy like that. We're all just kind of spread out. Kind of a dream of mine is to buy some land, maybe not a whole lot of land, 5 acres, 10 acres, a good chunk of dirt. And I want to build a house. I want to build my own house by hand. I want to design it. I want to write up the blueprints. I'm going to make some crazy, beautiful, new Victorian house. That's all mine. Oh wow, this is a bit of a town right here. Where am I? Huh. I don't even know. There's a little bit going on here. Looks like I'm turning left on 36. About 9 miles out of Lynn, Indiana. 27 from Richmond. Oh, is this Randolph? I think I'm in Randolph. We keep going straight. Greenville Avenue? Okay, not Greenville Avenue. Because I have to turn left on 36. Yeah. It's a heck of a little town here. They got a Walmart. That's how you know it's not too tiny. It's a pretty small Walmart, but, it's one nonetheless. Nonetheless, looks like a pretty new one too. No, but I just want to buy some land and put a house on it and design it myself. I want to shop like a workshop. I want to learn how to work with wood and make furniture and weld and work with metal and just manly stuff. Work on cars, build guns. Just want to be a craftsman. Be able to do shit myself, for myself. Maybe my family. Try to have one of those at some point. But yeah, I just like to build something of my own. Have a big old greenhouse. Maybe do some chickens. I don't want to be some kind of like commercial farmer, and I'm far from a country boy. I like me some country music, some country eatings, but I didn't grow up on some farm or something. I certainly don't have farm money. That's why I want to start a business, because I got to finance that house somehow. I don't even care what it is. Something I can slap my last name on, pass down to my grandkids. It's kind of my thought on the house. There's nothing, I can't think of anything more fulfilling than building a fucking house. Speaking of which, there is a big fucking house right here. What is that? Randolph something. That's awesome. Some kind of building. But just like a house. Imagine, I could build something that my great fucking great grandchildren might live in. That's insane. If I ever make it that far, if I ever buy some land and I ever get some blueprints, you bet your ass I'm gonna record that too, how I built it. Because I don't know how to build a house. I have no fucking idea, but I'm gonna find out. I will figure it out. That's just the kind of person I am. I don't know a lot of things. There's a lot of things I don't know. I know a lot of useless information, and it's pretty fun to spit out at a party or when I'm uselessly rambling on a video that probably I'll be the only one to ever see. It's useful in those situations, but when it comes to building a house, not quite so much. that isn't to say I don't know how to swing a hammer or work a drill or a saw, but I'm no architect and I'm no physics major. So, God willing, I can build a house that is gorgeous, looks like it was built in the 1800s, and isn't going to collapse in on itself. That's the idea. Pretty lofty goals, I know. Man, this is gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I can already think of a few places I want to go in Indiana specifically, but all over the country. There's all kinds of places I could go. I work like an odd schedule. So basically, I work 12-hour shifts. I work like 2 days on, 2 days off, except every other weekend I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then the other weekend I would have those 3 days off. So it's like I get lots of days off, and I work about 84 hours every 2 weeks, so about a normal schedule. Except once a month, I switch from days to nights, and then back to days. So it's just kind of an odd schedule. I make good money. I work at an ethanol plant. I'm basically a professional moonshiner. I enjoy my job because I'm like a jack of all trades. I have to know a little bit of chemistry and work in a lab and take samples, and I got a little bit of blue collar going on. I go and work on engines that are the size of a house, turn a wrench or whatever. And then I sit in a computer room, and I mess with all that. So it's like IT, maintenance, fucking, lab bullshit. It's, pretty easy stuff. Any mindless monkey can do it, which is a good thing because, I have to do it. Otherwise, I might be in trouble. But, no, I enjoy my job well enough. It's just difficult to get out and, try to make any friends, especially in a town where I know absolutely nobody. I've only been here once or twice in my life before I moved here. It is what it is. It's part of growing up. I'm sure I'll make some friends along the way, especially out here traveling. It'd be cool to meet some people and have a video to remember it. Look back on it in 20 years. Could be fun. Yeah, but I figure, with all these days off, especially like my 3-day stretches, it's a good time, to spend, a little bit of that money I make, because I make more than I even know what to do with. Like, my plan is, get a pickup, start, going to towards unit auctions, whatever, reselling, maybe start some kind of business with that. I at some point I want to buy houses and restore them, especially historical homes. Buy some historical homes, restore them, make them just fucking gorgeous. Like the inside renovated, modern appliances, modern carpets and hardwood floors and nice tiles, lights and all kinds of stuff. Just modernize it, but keep the outside true to form. New Victorian, whatever, Romanesque style, Italian architecture. Keep it as true to form as possible, and then lease it. Not like rent it, like lease to own. Because that's one of the other problems that Indiana has. There's a huge housing crisis in this state right now. And I grew up pretty disadvantaged. But I'm in a unique situation.
At the next lights, turn left.
Where I can turn left on 36. Looks like I'm pulling up on a town here. That's a neat water tower. That's like an old-fashioned water tower. That's awesome. Astral.
At the lights, turn left onto US 36.
At the lights. What town is this? I don't. Captain Charles Edwin Ingle Memorial Mile. I don't know who that is or why he has a mile dedicated to him. That's fascinating. But hey, you know,
In 4.2 miles, turn right onto South Arba Pike.
South Arba Pike. Ah, we're getting out here in the boonies now. Woo, there's nothing out here. Greenville, Ohio, 18 miles. See, I'm pretty close to Ohio, where I'm at. No, but I want to buy historic homes. I want to make them modern, make them able to last another 200 years, and lease to own them. I can charge, you know, a decent price monthly, like rent. Not what, you know, these scalpers are charging. There's people out here renting shitty ass 1-bedroom apartments in the smallest, crummiest town you've ever seen, you know, for $1,000 a month. That's terrible. That's scummy. I will never do that. I hope to God I never resort to that. I'd rather die of starvation than exploit people like that, personally. You know, that isn't to say that I won't make any money. You know, of course you've got to make a profit if you're going to have a business. I want to buy historic homes, and, you know, obviously leasing to own them, you're going to end up paying more. But that's an option for people that just can't put down 20% on a house. Not everybody, especially the way houses are selling right now, you know, $150,000 for some shitty 2-bedroom out, you know, in Fucksville, Kentucky. Nobody can afford that. Most Americans can't afford that. So they rent, and then they never get anywhere because 90% of their paycheck goes to rent so they can survive. And it's really scummy. But, you know, this would give them an option where it's like, this is a nice house. This is a sturdy home. It stood for 200 fucking years. It's going to stand for another 200 because it's just been redone. It's in a nice historic downtown or somewhere, you know, out in the country even, would be fantastic. It's at a rate you can
In 2
afford
miles,
monthly.
turn right onto South Arba Pike.
You know, and if you pay faithfully for 15 years, you know, 20 years, you'll own it. It'll be yours. You can give it to your kids. You can give it to your grandkids. You can sell it, whatever you want to do with it, you know, and it's, that's something that the average man or woman could do. That's plausible. That's tangible. And I want to make that a reality. You know, obviously that's a lot easier said than done, but it starts with one house. That's how I look at it. It starts with one house. And being a single, you know, individual with a full-time job, making pretty decent money, with profit sharing, value share, whatever else, lots of free time, you know, to start some kind of business, I can make enough to put 20% down on a house, you know, lease it, you know, do some repairs to it, lease it, with enough of a rate to cover the mortgage and also make a profit, you know, possibly pay more down on it, you know, and that's one house. And then that snowballs into possibly another house. You know, and if I've got two, then I'm pulling in more. I think I can slowly scale that kind of business. It's not something that's going to happen in a year, in 2 years, maybe not in 10 years. You know, but
Turn right onto South
by
Arba
the time
Pike.
I'm 30
Sorry,
years old,
one more time.
40, maybe I've
Turn
got
right onto South Arba Pike.
15 houses that I own, that I'm leasing for other people to own. Oh wow, it's very pretty out here. South Arba Pike. Looks like there's a couple country homes out here.
In 3.1 miles, turn left onto East Randolph County Line Road.
East Randolph County Line Road. Woo! This is a country road. It's pretty out here. It's like somebody still got some corn to harvest. It's getting pretty late in the season. Better hop to it. Not that I would know. I'm not a fucking farmer. He might be right on time. You know, we're just into November now, so. No, there's some pretty little houses out here. I like this. But yeah, that's kind of one of my goals, one of my plans. lot easier said than done, but I am in a position where I can make that happen if I really want to. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in 10 years, but it'll happen. And I am a stubborn son of a bitch. I will find a way. Anybody that knows me knows that, at the very least. Probably getting pretty close here at this point. I guess I should probably talk more about where we're going. I mean, I've already said, Hoosier Hill. We're going to Hoosier Hill. Not sure why it's called that, other than the fact that it's a big old hill and it's in Indiana. But it's the tallest point in the state of Indiana. I think it's like 1,200 feet or something, so nothing super crazy. It's not a mountain by any means. But it's a hill, and it's up there. And I've never been, so now I can say I've been in the tallest point of Indiana. It'll be fun. But of course half the journey is to drive, and so far it's been a very pretty drive. These people are so lucky to live so close to a national treasure like Hoosier Hill. No, but we'll see what's going on. There's another hill that I want to go to. I don't think it's the same hill, because I think this one's in southern Indiana. It's called like Brown Hill or like Orange Hill or something like that. And it's got some like Native American folklore, which is super, super cool. Spirits that guard the mountain, and there's old stone structures up there. It's like, some say that it was a fortress of some kind, the natives built, which is super cool, super neat. You love to see that.
In 1 mile, Woo! Turn left onto East Randolph County Line Road.
A little bit of a screech. 1 mile, the East Randolph County Road. It's a good thing I passed a couple towns, because I might have to top her off on the way back to Portland. No, but I'm thinking once a week, do something like this. Maybe I'll go to a small town. Maybe I'll go to a big old hill. Maybe I'll, go to a coffee shop. I don't know. We'll see. Just some kind of something to get me out of the house. Something to broaden my horizons, meet new people, see new places, and put some more wear and tear on this Ford Taurus. This thing has gotten me through thick and thin. I am in Arba, Indiana. It's fitting, considering I'm on Arba Road. Very quaint, small little town. Very pretty. The speed limit is very slow here. Very respectable. Just protecting their kids. They've got a nice church, a big old cemetery. I love me a cemetery. I am a weird man. I love a cemetery. There's a lot of history there, and there's nothing like just looking at just standing, amongst your ancestors. Like, I might not be related to them directly. My ancestors aren't from here. They're Irish and Italian. And I guess my mom's ancestors are Native American, but none of them are my direct ancestors or anything.
Turn left onto East Randolph County Line Road.
They built this state that I live in. They built these towns. They built these roads. And to stand amongst them and, kind of read about their stories, see what they've got going on. It's definitely fascinating, to say the least.
In 1 mile, turn right onto Elliott Road.
Here we are, Randolph County Road, turning onto Elliott Road in 1 mile. Whew. I'm not seeing this hill yet. It's probably covered in trees. It was once said that there were so many trees in the United States that a squirrel could climb all the way from the East Coast to the West Coast without touching the ground. I don't know how true that is, but I've been told. It is a rumor. The state of Indiana definitely has a lot of trees. This whole state, was once, it was a sea. It was an ancient sea, and then it was a swamp. So we've got all kinds of crazy ancient fish fossils and tons of Native American folklore, especially Miami Indian. They're the dominant tribe here. There's a little bit of Shawnee in the south.
Turn right onto Elliott Road. Sorry, once again. turn right onto Elliott Road.
Turn right onto Elliott Road. Ooh, Elliott Road's a gravel road. Hoosier High Point. There's
In half a mile, prepare to park your car near Elliott Road. You will need to walk to your destination from there.
Huh. I figured that much. I'm not driving up the hill. Hey, maybe. I wonder if I'll be the only one here. You know, it's a nice Sunday. Ooh, squirrel. I'm so sorry. Oh, he lived. Oh, good. Oh, good. Ay, ay, ay.
Prepare to park your car near Elliott Road. You will need to walk to your destination from there.
I'm not sure where I'm supposed to park. Looks like there's somebody else here. I don't know where the hood is. Or where the hill is.
Arrived.
Arrived. I don't see a hill here. Huh. Maybe I drove past it. Huh. Well, this will be interesting. We gotta find the hill, then we can climb the hill. Big old farm here. Could be cool. Woo. Looks like they got cattle. White's High Point Dairy. Alright, I'm gonna turn around. Hopefully I'm not scaring anybody here. Nah, they're not worried about it. I'm trying to turn around because I'm trying to get to Hoosier Hill, and there's, woo, hello. I'm sure what you're looking at. People are so fucking weird, man. I hate people. It's like, these are public roads. We all pay for them. We're all allowed to drive on them. I'm sorry I had to, you know, turn around real quick and spooked you or whatever. You should have seen the look on that lady's face. Yeah, but what do I know? People are weird. I think this is it. I think I passed it. So, we'll take our little hike up here. I think I grabbed my flute as well. And if I did, is that really it? Certainly there's more to it than that. Certainly there's a climb of some sort. Guess we're gonna find out one way or another. And I'm not sure if I took my flute. Oh, I did. I found it. All right. Indiana's High Point. Huh. Now, is there a trail to climb? Is there some kind of... Hold on here. High Point Foundation. Education, support, and conservation of the highest point in each of the 50 United States in cooperation with the High Pointers Club. A little bit of a bench there. The rock here. Indiana's High Point. Little fire. There's this. And a mailbox. What's up with this? Welcome to Indiana's High Point. Sign or register. How do I do that? Looks like it's locked. Huh. Sweetwater. Indiana baseball. Looks like there's all kinds of stuff up here. People slap stickers on here. Oh wow. That's neat. That's neat. There's kind of a trail here. I figured there was like an actual hill going on. Maybe there is, and this is just the beginning of it. In which case, I should probably get going. Let's see what's going on here. I mean, it's looking pretty flat right now. Quite the little hill. I keep covering up my microphone. I know this audio is just going to be atrocious. Looks like we're going up a little bit. I certainly hope so, because that doesn't really feel like it was earned. I just kind of got out of the car and there I was, highest point in Indiana. Trail just kind of ends. Unless it doesn't. Oh, let's find out. Looks like there's a bit of an opening here. Bunch of spider webs. Huh. I'm not sure. I guess we'll explore around a little bit. You know, if I was anywhere but Indiana, I don't think I would walk off the path, but I'm not too concerned about getting lost. Basically just walk one direction and you'll hit a cornfield. Huh. Some kind of rock, some felled trees. Wow. See, the hill goes up here. So that sign was a lie. That sign was an absolute fib. That wasn't the highest point in Indiana. That is over there. Which is still remarkably underwhelming. Huh. No wonder people don't talk about this so much. I mean, the fall leaves are very pretty. I feel like I'm just kind of walking through woods though. There was some sort of a trail. I was kind of hoping that would go somewhere. See, this isn't even a hill. It's just a flat area. Unless, of course, the hill's that way and I'm just not seeing it. I don't think that's the case. I think I'm at the highest point. Maybe that's why that lady had a sour look on her face. She was pulling into that High Point farm. Pretty low for a high point, if you ask me. Huh? Well, there's the trail. Good thing I didn't get lost. In the Indiana wilderness, or whatever you want to call that. remarkably underwhelming, you know, but I never would have known had I not gone myself. I could have sworn I'd seen a video of someone like actually climbing like a real hill, you know, not just kind of a picnic table in the middle of a cornfield. But you know, it is what it is. Things turn out the way they do. But that's okay. I can think of a few places to go that are also pretty cool. Looks like there's some kind of trail here. I'm not sure. This doesn't go anywhere. None of these go anywhere. Because there's nothing here. This looks like it would be a fantastic climbing tree. If I was into that kind of thing. Maybe if I had some buddies. It's kind of weird if I just do it by myself. Someone would probably just call the cops on me or something. Huh. Well, that is Hoosier Point. Quite the adventure. There's a bit of a tree over here. Sticking out of this one. Not sure what that is. Alright then. Maybe I'll play my flute. This sound is bound to be atrocious, I'm sure. If I can even hear myself through all of this, but you know, we'll give it a shot. Didn't come all this way for nothing. I guess my favorite thing to play on my little flute here, it's kind of it's like a Native American flute. I bought it in Arizona from a Navajo, and he signed it. It's hard to see now, but he signed it Long Hair. Long Hair was his name, which is awesome. My favorite thing to play on this is just some Celtic folk tunes. I know a lot of them. They're pretty simple. They're pretty catchy. And the flute's the perfect thing to play them on. It's very windy, so I have no idea if it'll actually be able to be heard or not, or if it'll interfere with the flute. But I'll give it a shot. I think I'll play this one. Boy, I forget what it's called. It's like The Idiots. That's what it's called, The Idiots. And it's about an Irishman who emigrated, likely during the 19th century, early 20th century, to escape England and their tyranny. And he talks about working in a refinery in the United States and how it sucks, but at least he's free. So that makes him an idiot, I suppose. Woo, it's windy. Here, we're gonna turn it around here. That should help the flute. It's not going to help the lighting, but who needs it? I often take these night shift walks when the foreman's not around. I turn my back on the cooling stacks and make far up and ground. Far out beyond the tank farm fence, where the gas flare makes no sound. I forget the stink and I always think back to that eastern town. I remember back 60 years ago, this western life I chose. And every day the news would say some factories gone to close. While I could have stayed to take the dole, but I'm not one of those. I take nothing free, and that makes me an idiot, I suppose. So I bid farewell to the eastern town I never more will see. But work I must, so I eat this dust and breathe refinery. Though I miss the green and the woods and streams, and I don't like cowboy clothes, I like being free, and that makes me an idiot, I suppose. Come all ye fine young fellows who've been beaten to the ground. This western life's no paradise, but it's better than lying down. And all the streets aren't clean, and there's nothing green, and the hills are dirty brown. But the government dole will rot your soul back there in your hometown. So bid farewell to the eastern town you never more will see. There's self-respect and a steady check at this refinery. You will miss the green and the woods and streams, and the dust will fill your nose. But you'll be free, and just like me, an idiot, I suppose. These are the words I tell myself when I miss my old hometown. I tell myself that I'm doing right by turning that welfare down. But now I see for you and me that I want those woods and streams, for I owe my life to this workers' strife. Why can't I just be free? Well, you know, that was fun. This place wasn't particularly spectacular, but I do like to sing, and I do like to play my flute. And I got to do that. It's quite windy. I honestly don't know if any of that is going to be audible, and the flute's pretty difficult to play in the wind. But maybe we'll go see some town. Like, we'll go see what the nearest small town is. I think that's what I'll do. Well, Hoosier Point. That is one place down. I don't think I'll be returning. The groundskeeper, in other words, that lady that passed me earlier, decided to give me a random grimace. Could you imagine if she saw this? I'd be like crazy. If I was just like famous in 40 years, and she just saw me roasting the absolute tar out of her, I'd kind of feel bad, to be honest. Yep, we're back. As I was saying, it would be really funny if she somehow saw this and saw that I was a bit salty. Maybe she was just smiling at me, and that's just how she looks. That's possible, you know. I've been told I have a bit of an RBF myself, so highly possible she was just smiling at me and I just didn't take the cue. Maybe that's how they smile out here in Hoosier Point, Hoosier Hill, whatever it's called. Hoosier Point is different. Ooh. Those are scary sounds for my tire. Yeah, this car on its last legs, you know, it gets me there just barely, but one of these days it's not going to get me there anymore. Got a few ideas for a car. I mean, obviously I do want a pickup. What I need to get is a pickup. What I want to get is a little different. You know, I want a nice, just Mustang. I mean, I know that's super cheesy. Honestly, not a huge fan of the Mustang, to be honest. But I want something that's sporty. I want something that's small, like my Ford Taurus. And the Mustang, of course, is made by Ford as well. So all the configurations are pretty similar, and I feel like I would just feel right at home in a Mustang. But I don't want to pay the insurance on that. And I can't, I can't carry around big old furniture on a Mustang. Not really. I don't remember which way I came in here. I think it was this way. Either way, we're gonna find out. I'll go this way for a little while, and if I don't hit a town, then I'll pull out the GPS and we'll do it the old-fashioned way, or the new-fashioned way, I guess. Yeah, that wasn't quite as amazing as I thought it would be. Definitely disappointing, but that's a lesson for life, Sometimes things sound really great, and it's like, this is gonna be awesome, and then it just sucks. It's just the worst. It wasn't that bad. This was an experience. A good little foray into what I intend to be doing for the next, I don't know, maybe years, decades, I don't know. Once a week, that's the plan. Does that mean I'm gonna record a video or upload a video once a week? I don't know. I mean, it's just gonna depend on how long these take to edit. I'm sure I'll get better at editing. That's usually how it goes. With time, you get better at things. How much better? Well, I guess time will tell. We'll see. But no, I imagine it'll probably take me a good bit of time to edit, at least at the beginning. So these, I'll upload them as soon as possible, but I'll record them once a week. Once a week, I'll be out here doing something. Probably just a lot of driving and talking, if that's anything anybody's interested in. Yes, Arba Pike. Turn right here, past the Amish sign. I've already had breakfast. It's a little, well, I guess it's 1:30. It's not too early for lunch, but I'm not particularly hungry. Maybe I'll go back to that other town I saw that looked a little bigger. Nothing against Arba, but I don't see any coffee joints or gas stations in Arba, so odds are there's not much going on here. They have a big old cemetery. That's super cool. I'm currently not all that interested in the cemetery. None of these houses are particularly fantastic. They're not ugly. They're nice little homes. They're quaint. Not the new Victorians that I love, but, I'm sure these people have a nice life out here. Looks like their roads have been paved recently, so good on them. Good for them. And we're gone. There goes the great city of Arba, Indiana. I'm sure they had a high school at one point. It's funny to think about. The Arba animals, or the Arba, what's an A animal? The ants? I don't know. I feel like that's not very intimidating. I wouldn't want to be the ants. Oh, look at those little itty bitty cows. Huh. They got a couple years of growing left in them before they're on my dinner plate. I like me some cows. Some beef. Most of that comes from Kansas. No, not Kansas. Oklahoma. Oklahoma beef. They're the ones growing all them cattle. Woo. These are some odd country roads. They're all zigzagged and diagonal. It's like they built the road around a cow. They were just like, this fucking cow won't move, so they just turned the fucking road. I'm convinced that's why they did it. Realistically, it's probably because the early settlers of Indiana didn't want to sit here and use dynamite out in the country just to have straight roads, when it was much easier to just turn and go around the obstacles. I do like these colonial, like, brick farmhouses. I'd like one of those one day. Maybe I'll build one of those. I don't know. We'll see. I've had something in my left eye the whole time I've been out here. Like, since the second I got in the car. As soon as I park, I'm taking this contact out. It's probably an eyelash, if I know anything about myself. Well, she smiled and waved at me. At least not everybody out here sucks. Just that one lady. She's just weird. Yeah, that whole Hoosier hospitality thing, it's fake. Don't listen to them, it's not real. Everybody's mean here. At least we're not like in the South, you know. Somebody doesn't like you, they usually just, you know, they don't talk to you, or they give you, you know, they give you a nasty look or something. In the South, somebody doesn't like you, you're gonna smile, they're gonna wave, they're gonna say, bless your heart. And then the second you leave, they're gonna be, oh my God, Becky, that son of a bitch. Holy cow. She missed church twice last month. Twice. Can you believe it? No, at least here in Indiana, you know, everybody's just straight up. You know, they tell you, get the fuck out of the way, you know? You're in my way. I'm trying to buy, you know, some tenderloins or whatever people in Indiana buy. Some real tree sweatshirts. I don't know where I'm going. I think I'm retracing my steps. I'm usually pretty good at this. But none of this looks familiar. Maybe it's because I've been talking all the time. He had a nice Mustang. Which one, like a black one or like a royal blue? Blue is one of my favorite colors, but like it's got to be like a dark, not like navy blue, but I don't want it to be almost black. I want it to still be blue, so like just a royal blue. Like a diamond kind of, I don't even know. I feel like a diamond's not a good comparison. I think we turn left here. I recognize this house. We're gonna let this guy pass. And off we go. We're gonna find out what this town is that's up here. I feel like I won't go to Brown Hill next week, just because I had bad luck this time around. Oh, there's a deer on the side of the road. That's not pleasant. No, I feel like I've had bad luck with hills here lately. This is why I never try new things. Never try new things. They always just suck. No, but you know, where I grew up, there was some very, very pretty nature. Beautiful stuff. Salamone Reservoir and the Mississinewa Reservation and you know, the Wabash River and the Eel River and Hanging Rock. Just some beautiful stuff. And the whole city's built in a valley. It's amazing. I'll definitely do a video or a few there. But I'm trying to get outside of my comfort zone and see what else there is. I know Winchester's very pretty. I don't know if I'll go to Winchester, because I passed some other town down this highway. I'll probably stop there, I think, see what's going on. I have no idea what's here. I've not looked up anything in advance like I did with the hill. So we'll see. Maybe it'll be cool. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll be terrible. And if it is terrible, then, you know, it's because we're so close to Ohio. That's what it is. It's that Ohio badness that's just infected this part of the state. Nothing good comes out of Ohio, except for football teams and marching bands. Unless you're the Bengals. Well, the Bengals are pretty good. Now, Cleveland, on the other hand, I don't know what the Browns been doing for the past 40 years, but it ain't football. It looks like there's some water tower out here. And I saw some gas stations this way, so at the very least I can top her off and get home. Where I don't have to worry about no Hoosier Hill or weird ladies giving me mean looks for some reason. It's definitely a chill Sunday. There's not a whole lot of people out here. Can't blame them. You know, if I worked 5 days a week, I'd probably just stay in on my weekends. But man, I'm home as much as I'm at work, and it just drives me insane. It drives me insane, really, because I just sit at home and do nothing. I live by myself. You know, I play my Nintendo Switch. I watch YouTube. I come up with plans for the future that I'm currently no closer to than I was yesterday. I feel like with this, at least I feel like I'm going somewhere. I'm making progress. Progress on anything useful? That's debatable. I'll leave that up to interpretation, but progress nonetheless. It is something that is happening. Ooh, it is a bit toasty, but I don't have air conditioning, and I don't want to roll down my windows because, you know, then it'll just get real loud. As it is, I have no idea if any of this is going to record well. I need to get myself a microphone. Looks like there's some kind of a sheriff here. Wonder if he'll get upset because I have my phone. Doesn't look like it. I don't think he's going to follow me. Okay, well, I appreciate that. Cops stress me out. They stress me out. I don't care. Man, I could be perfectly following the law, and they just scare the shit out of me. Because for some reason, we have armed, you know, bulletproof vested, you know, weird caffeine junkies that enforce the road laws. You know, well, maybe some people are for that, but I'm not a huge fan of them personally. Is what it is. As long as they leave me the fuck alone, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Looks like they got some flags hanging up here. It's like a patriotic little town. Their gas is expensive here. That's not what you like to see. You know, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You gotta drive. What am I gonna do? Not buy gas? Exactly. I go into work tomorrow night. It's an odd feeling. I don't usually see the sun because I'm on the night shift right now. It's definitely unnatural. I am a daytime person. I love the sun. This is a long night. Everybody's just chilling out here. I'm ready to go see this town. Go freak out all the locals. They're gonna see me talking to my phone and just think I'm crazy. And you know what? I don't care. I'm tired of caring what other people think, and I'm just gonna do me, you know? I'm not here to hurt anybody or cause any trouble. Just want to see what your town has to offer. Between your Dollar General and your Phillips 66. Great stuff. Great stuff. Oh, this guy's got a rockin' mustache. Look at him. I'm getting all kinds of looks. These people have never seen a foreigner in their life. I say foreigner, I'm from 30 minutes away, but Lynn, Indiana. Huh. Okay. Let's see what's going on in Lynn, Indiana. This is your chance to wow me. I like small towns. It's not hard to do. I'm not seeing any beautiful homes or anything. Randolph Southern Junior Senior High School. Ooh, that's a pretty little house. Nothing crazy. Do they have a downtown? East Sherman Street. I do like their water tower. It's very unique. It's definitely unique. Looks like there is a little bit of a downtown going on here. We're gonna turn right. See if I can't find something. Oh, wow, that's... Huh. Looks like that's about it, actually. I will get out. I just need to find a nice place to park. And that's easier said than done. No, this is definitely... This is a little settlement for sure. They got the grain elevator right in downtown. That's what you like to see. That's an Ohio thing. These are a bunch of Buckeyes. They just got caught on the wrong side of the state line, I guess. Does this go down any farther down here? Doesn't really look like it. Doesn't look like there's much going on down there. I think I've basically seen all there is to see. I don't even see any, like, businesses. They do have a post office. That does make them a town. Technically, they are a town. Here, we'll turn right on Church Street. And we'll see what's going on here. There is a gas station here that I could technically park at. My car's making some interesting sounds, and I, for one, am not for that. Maybe I'll park at this church. I feel like churches are pretty welcoming. They're not gonna try to shoo me away or anything. Unless this is a house. Oh, it's for sale. Okay, maybe that's better then. So nobody lives here and I'm not freaking anybody out, I don't think. Looks like there's a couple houses here for sale. We stopped recording. This one's really pretty. I do like that. We've decided we're stopping here. Gonna go for a nice little walk through Lynn, Indiana. I saw this house here. Very pretty. I do like it. I mean, obviously it needs work, but very nice. And then there's a little church here that's for sale as well. That could be cool. I feel like I've always wanted to like buy a church or something. It'd be a nice place for a business, I think. Or maybe like some kind of like a recording studio. Like I bet you could turn it into a nice like performance hall for musicians. Churches are kind of built for that. Some very nice yards here. Nice little houses. Nothing really stands out. No crazy manners. I do like brick sidewalks. It's very pleasant. Very pleasant little town. Yep, here comes 2015 Mustang, I think. Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of a town going on here. I mean, there's nothing crazy. It's not like a... Whew. Look at that fella. Yeah. What's that say? 1906? I think 05? Something like that. That building up there with the red canopy. Doesn't look like there's anything in it. There's the water tower I've been talking about this whole time. Just very old school. I do like it. Fire department. There's a little bit of a business block there. It's empty. All of these look empty. That's kind of the sad reality of small towns in Indiana. They've all just pretty much uninhabitable. Unless you're a farmer and you have some kind of means of income or you work somewhere else, because you probably don't work here. Realistically. I mean, it's hard to tell. Citizens Banking Company. It looks like there's a couple things going on here. Lynn Municipal Building, Town Board. Oh, that's like their town hall and fire department. Now that's old school. A little bit of a gas station here. Ooh, looks like all these buildings are for sale here. It's a red light here. Green light this way. This person's gonna let me cross. Bless them. Jeanette Claudel, I think. I have no idea. We're gonna cross. Look at this. It's a nice little business block. It's like a little door for the windows here. This one's for sale too. This one's pretty neat looking. The Great Pages Circus. Huh. It's like it's very modern looking. That's interesting. Banking company. Huh. Looks like there's something here. Some kind of ice cream shop. Guess I came on the wrong day. Yeah, look at that. Not open on Sunday. Not much is in Indiana. Powerhouse engines. We've got a library. It's very pleasant. No, but that's basically the entirety of downtown. That's the whole thing. You know, when people live here, it's like their life. It's definitely interesting. Lynn Dental Clinic. How nice. How pleasant. I mean, it seems like, especially from the art I can see hanging on the telephone poles here, I'll cross here and get a better view over here. Seems like the most interesting thing this town has to offer is its unique water tower, which is very cool. I'm not gonna lie, but oh, this is an oldie. Whew. Somebody owns it though. Looks like they're using it as a trash can. You know, but that's how it goes. Unfortunately, that is the reality of these things. Here, it looks like there's a good one right here. Looks like some kind of painting that somebody did, and they've got it hanging up on all the telephone poles here. It's neat. It's just the water tower and some kind of barn. You know, there's a little bit more town going on, but I'm sure it's just, you know, more houses. None of them look very spectacular. We'll take probably the back route here. It is very clean, I will say that. A lot of these small towns are kind of dirty, they're kind of a mess. A lot of houses falling apart. There's a couple of those here, but look at their sidewalks. Very nice. And the roads are all freshly paved. They do keep their stuff. That much can be said for Lynn, Indiana. Looks like a funeral home, memorial chapel. Just an old-fashioned, you know, one that's built into a house. There's one in Wabash that's super cool. It's you know, really like a Gothic style of architecture. It's extremely unique. This one just kind of a house, which is fine, you know, serves its purpose. It's probably been in the family for a long time. No, nothing crazy. Looks like there's some work being done here. It's a lovely house. I mean, all these houses are pretty lovely, pretty clean. Just not much else going on, it seems. I think this guy's gonna let me pass, so I'm gonna do that. No, it's definitely lovely. I feel bad because I don't have much else to say about it. This house is very nice. I do like this. Big old porch. It's that blue color that I like. They've got their Union banners hanging on the top windows and the flag. Very nice. It's very nice. I will say there's no like alleyways. What I was gonna do is I was gonna walk the block and come around the back end here so I could get my car. There's no like, there's nothing to connect these two streets here. I'm gonna have to end up going all the way down. Which is fine, you know, a little walk won't kill me. Maybe I'll bump into something cool and I'll be glad I did. Or maybe not. A small little road, just a cornfield at the end. Nothing amazing. I do wonder if there's any significant history about this place. I mean, I'm sure there is. Just about every town in Indiana has something. Some significant person from here or some event. Maybe it was founded by a general. That's what it's named after. It's hard telling. I didn't see any kind of museum in the downtown area. That doesn't mean there isn't one. No, it's definitely very well kept for how small it is. Usually these towns with, 1,000 people in them are not very tidy. There's definitely a little bit of pride going on here. It's it is oddly warm though for being November. It was just 30, 40 degrees past couple weeks, and now all of a sudden it's 70, 80 on November 6th of all times. There's a whole bunch of shipping crates over here. Looks like some kind of big industry over here. Rail yard, maybe. Could be interesting. Nice little porch. Looks like an old house. Maybe a couple hundred years old. Probably 20th century. Oh. Is that an antique store? I can't tell. Astral Industries Incorporated. Oh. Oh, I saw a building for them a little while back. Huh. That's certainly interesting. I think I'll swerve back around here so I can get back to my car. Down this little street here. It's very bright. There's not really a sidewalk here either. But when you've got 10 people that live down the street, I suppose you don't need a sidewalk. Open Sunday. Looks like maybe they're trying to sell this one too. pleasant little house. Nothing spectacular about it. Looks like all the houses down this street are relatively new. 60s, 70s. Single family homes. Definitely not the Victorian manners you see in, some small Indiana towns, but still lovely. You can kind of tell based off of the age of these trees as well. These houses aren't new, but they're certainly not old. Everybody keeps their yards here. I've not seen a single yard that was overgrown or covered in leaves or anything. Not one. That is fairly uncommon. All kinds of signs over here. Probably hardly see that. I mean, I think that's about all that's going on here. Out of this, I guess I got a nice, lovely walk. I went a couple places I've never been. I don't know if I'll necessarily ever come back, but it was an experience. There's the water tower again in the distance. It's very pretty. Like, I feel like if you took a picture of like this right now and like painted that, it'd just be lovely. And I'm sure this is a very, very tight-knit town as well. It has to be with how well it's kept. If the neighbors didn't like each other, they definitely wouldn't worry so much about keeping things tidy. I've seen a lot of older folks as well, so it's possible that, they've just been here their whole lives. Maybe they went to school here and that school doesn't exist anymore, so they just kind of live here now. This is a very pretty house. I do like that house a lot. Very pretty. As for how old it is, probably turn of the century. 1910, 1920. And again, with these brick sidewalks, very pretty. Looks like we're getting a bunch of squirrels. This pine tree is just decimating this sidewalk here. Well, that's how it goes. Yep, and I'll have to see how much these houses are selling for. Looks like right there they're selling a plot of land. Huh. Tell you what, if it's some cheap land, I might just buy it. I'm about 30 minutes away from Portland right now. Buy some cheap land, build a workshop, start building furniture like I've always wanted to. Could be fun, could be interesting. I'll have to see. Now imagine buying this church and living in that, like a house. That would just be amazing. I'm certain that it's selling for a high price.
On East Church Street, then turn right onto North Main Street.
We're heading back to Portland. First we'll stop at this gas station here and grab a couple bucks of gas and a fountain drink probably. These guys won't mind if I turn around in their driveway. Not like that other lady that sneered and jeered at me. Bet if I was driving a nicer car, she wouldn't have done that. Maybe. I don't know. Country folks are rude.
Proceed to the route.
I guess when your whole town has 10 people in it, you know, and you see somebody you don't recognize, I guess it's scary. I've still not taken this contact out. I'm getting ready to. I need to, in fact. Like ASAP, preferably. We'll stop right here at pump 1. Yep. Perfect. I will say, if for whatever reason you do find yourself stranded, you know, in Lynn, Indiana, of all places, first of all, God save you. Secondly, and probably more relevant, that marathon in town is very cleanly. Their fountain drinks, their fountain pops, fucking fantastic. A little bit of a fountain pop connoisseur myself, all right? Basically a professional. I've been all over this state, and I've been to so many gas stations and had so many different fountain pops. Let me tell you, the Marathon in Lynn, Indiana, they've got some nice fountain drinks. And a cleanly gas station. And a fantastic bathroom. I've never seen a fucking gas station bathroom be so clean in my life. Lynn, Indiana, everybody. They got a water tower and a gas station. Woo! Yeah. Lynn, Indiana, everybody. They got a water tower and a gas station. That's all you need. No, but I'm on my way back to Portland now. Good chance I won't actually put any of this in the video, like this coming back part. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll have some kind of reflections. That'll be interesting. Hoosier Point. Hoosier Hill. Meh. You know. Not all it's cracked up to be. The highest points in every state. I mean, I'm sure that technically, from a topographical standpoint, it is the highest point, like as far as from sea level to land. But you know, if the whole state just kind of like slowly inclines and you're just standing in a flat spot, like that's not interesting. Nobody wants to see that, right? Like, oh, I was in the highest point in Indiana. That's lame. You know, there's places in Indiana you can actually climb. Where I grew up, there's a big old rock. It's called Hanging Rock, and there's a whole Native American tale behind it, and it's super fascinating. You climb up, and it's like 60, 70 feet above the Wabash River, and you're just looking down. Like it's pretty high up there. So that's what has me doubting. Like, you know, maybe from a topographical standpoint, it's not the highest point in Indiana, but it's as far as nature goes, it's pretty high up above the ground. Far more interesting, in my professional opinion. I'll definitely be going there at some point. No, Hoosier Hill was very dissatisfying. Definitely a you know, I wouldn't recommend it for any of my buddies. Anything you saw in this video, that's all there is to it. It's not any prettier in person, I promise. You can go in your backyard and see some fall trees, you know. Definitely underwhelming, especially for a first video here. But no, I'm definitely gonna plan something a little bit cooler next time around. There is a nice little roadside cemetery here, Mount Pleasant. Yeah, but I'm kind of tired of freaking people out. I don't think people in this state are used to people just sightseeing. They see me like, you know, rubbernecking, and they just give me these weird looks. Maybe it's the stash. I'm trying something new, all right? You know, maybe I just look fucking weird. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe it's my car. They're profiling me, like this guy that's on my ass right now. Indiana. Back home again in Indiana. Indiana home. I hate this place. Not really. I love the state of Indiana. Buddy, I can't go any faster. This guy's towing a lawnmower, a motorcycle, and a four-wheeler on the back of his truck. All right, you know, not much I can do about that, my friend. I try to pass him, but all of a sudden at 2:16 in the afternoon in rural Indiana, there's a bunch of traffic. It's only when you're actually trying to get some. It's never, you know, like at normal business hours or like anything like that. It's just when is the most inconvenient time possible. That's when it is. You know, this guy in a red car, all of a sudden he's not riding my ass because he's like, oh wait, there's nothing he could have done about it. That's right. You know, it's crazy how that is. But it looks like I have an opening here, so I'm gonna take it. NASCAR, baby. See ya, Grandpa. I do like your truck. We're cutting that. There's no way I'm putting that in. No way in hell. No, there's probably there's a ton of places I'll go natural places. I'll go to cities. I think Gary's kind of off the table. You know, I know there's some pretty cool abandoned stuff there, but in case you haven't noticed the pigment of my skin, I'm pretty white. I don't want to find myself in the, you know, abandoned places of Gary, particularly. Not by myself, at least. Maybe I'll get some friends to go with me on these. I don't know. We'll see. I need a nicer car. Something a little more reliable. Something that doesn't shake like it's about to fall into a million pieces. Like my Ford Taurus. Look, I can hardly hate on something that has gotten me. This car has taken me to Savannah, Georgia, Rochester, New York, Texas, Arizona. I mean, this thing has been through hell and back, without a doubt. So I can hardly complain. I'm gonna look at this building, see what it is. Randolph Infirmary. Oh wow, Randolph County Infirmary. That's really neat. It's got like two towers on it. I like that. Wonder if it's for sale. Probably not. Everybody always keeps all the cool ones. Oh, I'm in Winchester. I didn't realize I was passing through Winchester. That makes a lot of sense now. The actual pretty downtown is that way. I'm going through all the modern stuff where the McDonald's is and the Walmart. I've been to Winchester. I mean, it's pretty. It's not like a sight to beholden or anything. Maybe I'll go there one of these days. I will say, the Winchester High School Marching Band is absolutely fucking phenomenal. Absolutely crazy. I doubt anyone from around here will ever see this video or ever get to this part, even if they do. But just know, Winchester High School Marching Band is fucking awesome. Those guys are great. I think they're called the Force or something. They wear these cadet hats. I saw them at the State Fair Marching Band contest this summer. They put on a Christmas show, and I've never in my life heard a high school band produce that crisp of a sound. I've seen big high school marching bands. They can make a lot of noise. You know, they can make cool charts. But the sound this marching band made, they might as well have been DCI. This stuff was phenomenal. There was probably only 100 kids in the band, if that. Super cool. it was just amazing. A sight to behold for sure. I guess for some background, I, for the longest time, wanted to be a band director, and I might still do that. I don't know what I'm doing with my life right now. I'm just kind of seeing what there is. But if I ever did become like a band director, I could only hope to have a marching band half as good as Winchester. I mean, just knock your socks off sound. A whole bunch of young men and women, just very disciplined and on point. You can tell they put in hours and hours of work, and not even just at practice. They went home and practiced that stuff. It's amazing. I guess that's a big Indiana thing too, right? Marching band. As much as I might like to claim that, I wasn't born in Indiana, or I'm not a country boy. I'm a Hoosier through and through, whether I want to believe it or not. That's why at some point I need to get out of this state. I'm not talking about necessarily living somewhere else, but definitely as far as seeing other places. I'll definitely do some travel, see what's out there. I know there's some beautiful places in Michigan, Kentucky, Tennessee. Tennessee's gorgeous. I was actually born in Tennessee. I didn't live there long enough to remember any of it, but very pretty state. Maybe I'll go east. One of these days I'm going to go to Pittsburgh and see my ancestors, my blood ancestors, where they're buried. My great-grandfather, they were steel workers in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Irish and Scottish immigrants. It'd be really cool to see that. So yeah, I'll definitely do that one of these days. Probably take some PTO, have a week out there in Pittsburgh. Never been to New York City. I'm sure it's probably not all that grand. Mostly just expensive and a pain in the ass, I imagine. But could be fun nonetheless. I feel like you gotta see Times Square at least once. I've been to Florida, it's great. Can't say it was like, it's hot. Honestly, like, the beach was cool and all, but my favorite part was that we took like a hoverboat tour, and we saw alligators and free-range cattle that were just coexisting with these gators. And there were cowboys. There were fucking cowboys that would lasso these cows onto hoverboats. It was the coolest thing ever. Like, I want to be a hoverboat cowboy. That's awesome. But as far as the somebody's walking here. Got them cowboy boots. He looks like he knows what he's doing. Otherwise, I'd help him out. He's got a bag and everything. Looks like he's not going that far. No, it's crazy. Crazy life, Just crazy. There's definitely going to be a lot of cuts in this, especially because I really have no plan for this video, and I don't think I will for any of mine, just because it's kind of just an idea dump, kind of a journal, a vlog, if you will. We'll see if anybody's particularly interested in it by any means. And if they're not, I'll probably still do it, just so that in 30 years I can look back on this and be like, hey, look at this fucking weirdo. He never shut up. Which is true. It is absolutely true. Absolutely. Maybe this will turn into like, some kind of like roughneck, like homesteading channel one day if I ever get some land. Fuck, maybe I'll play some video games or something. I don't know. I feel like, I love video games. I love playing video games. I feel like I can be pretty entertaining, but it's kind of oversaturated. Like no matter what you play, and I don't want to just go play some like lame ass fucking indie games. Like go find some $2 Steam game just so I can, you know, get those search results or whatever. Like fuck that. I want to play what I want to play, but what I want to play is what everybody else wants to play. So it's a bit oversaturated. But you know, just the way it goes. Absolutely just the way it goes. Like, I mean, obviously, I play a lot of fucking Minecraft. Everybody plays Minecraft. And I play on this realm with, like, some buddies. There's, like, 15 of us. We play all the time. We just do crazy shit. Pull pranks on each other. It's a lot of fun. But, you know, Minecraft's kind of oversaturated. And usually it's, like, a younger audience. And in case you haven't noticed, I kind of talk like a sailor. So, I don't see that, boding well for me, realistically. Plus, I'm not really into that whole, like, oh, you need to have a niche. You need to have, like, this is what you do so you can build an audience. Because I don't want to sit here and make fucking Minecraft videos every day. I want to play COD one day, play Minecraft the next day, play fucking Paladins or Overwatch. You know, play some, like, 7 Days to Die. I don't know, just something. Like, I mean, oh, he's turning. That was interesting. No, I just want to play like something, you know, it's whatever I want to play. And you can't really do that, you know, just starting out. You're not going to build a consistent audience. I'm not that funny, right? Like, not some kind of like stand-up comedian or anything, but if anything, I put people to sleep like a hypnotist. My phone hasn't shouted any directions at me in a minute. Has me a bit worried. Maybe I'll get lost. Maybe I'll find Bigfoot. Maybe. I don't know. Looks like I'm going through a small town here. What is the name of said small town? The sign is backwards. That's not useful. Randolph, okay. So I'm going the right way. I'm going the right way because I've been through here. Huh. Oh yeah, and there's the schoolhouse. Or at least what I'm pretty positive was a schoolhouse. They all kind of had that shape about them. Jefferson High School. Very cool. I bet they had a great basketball team in the 1920s. Deerfield, Indiana. Boy, I didn't think I was going to be glad to be back here. I'm just kidding. Anyone that lives in Deerfield, all 6 of you, I'm sure you're lovely people. Truly. You have a very pretty town. Except for this shop here, it's kind of dirty. It's got a nice truck though. Old Chevy. We're 11 miles out of Portland. We're heading home, fellas. All right. The Mississippi River. I know that one. She wraps around the whole state, she does. Well, kind of. Not really. Just kind of goes through it. Straight across. There's a whole bunch of wind turbines out here. There's not so many of those where I'm from. I feel like Indiana's prime real estate for them. Got a lot of flat land. It's a good way for farmers to make some money. I've heard they cause migraines, but I've never experienced that, and I have some pretty severe migraines, so it's hard telling.
In 10 miles, arrive at Portland.
Great. 10 miles, I'll be in Portland. Boy, do I love Portland. Maybe one of these weeks when I'm feeling really lazy, I'll just walk outside. You know, I'll just explore Portland. I've kind of been around, but there's not much to see there either. This part of the state is remarkably barren, truly. I'm starting to wobble a bit. I really hope my tire's not suffering. Now that would be a hell of an adventure. That would mean I'd be walking to work. Yeah, every single one of these videos is a gamble. Because any more miles on this car is just one step closer to its death. Which, if anything, lights a fire under me to get something else. Get that pickup that I want. Or that I need. As much as I want the Mustang. Here we go, Jay County. Whoop. Jay County, Indiana. Yeah, I don't remember wobbling this much on the way here. The car's not overheating. That's nice. Usually it gets pretty hot. We are wobbling a lot. I'm sure you can see it. This is probably extremely jarring. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to be able to use any of this. Boy, I need to get me something that drives smooth. And preferably something with some air conditioning. It's very hot in here. Despite it being November. I swear it's 90 degrees in my car right now. I need to do some dishes when I get home. Clean my house a little bit. Make it look like somebody lives there. Somebody who isn't a bum. This is going to be a nightmare to edit. It's going to be like an hour long if I'm not careful. Yep, windows are going down. We're going to test this. See how inaudible I am. So anything that goes into this segment may or may not be heard. May or may not. This might just be Bluff Point. Don't remember seeing that sign on the way here. There are 7 houses here. Lovely. Well, there's 8. 8, 9. That's a shop. There's 8 houses here. Very nice. What a lovely town. Indiana Glass Collectors Convention in Portland, Indiana. Huh. Didn't hear about that. Guess if you're a Hoosier and you like glass. That's one thing I've never really gotten into is collecting. I've always been a fairly I'm not a very materialistic person. I don't like having a bunch of stuff, you know, just things. Everything I've got has a purpose, like some kind of reason to exist. It's not just like a wall decoration or like a trinket, usually. I mean, I have a couple, right, like a couple trinkets, but it's usually like has a lot of sentimental value to me or some kind of meaning. Yeah, I'm willing to bet that most of this is inaudible with the windows down and my voice being kind of tired from talking. Because I'm not used to talking this much. Just to train my voice as well, I bet. Portlet, Indiana. Yeah, I'll get real good at talking by the end of this. 90% of this video is going to be driving. I just realized that. That's the unfortunate side effect of road trips. Spend a lot of time sitting. I got that Lynn, Indiana fountain pop though. This will push me through. I don't know what it is. They got something in the water over there. It's probably just because they actually keep their shit clean, so it doesn't taste like mildew or something. Getting close to Portland. It was only 11 miles, I think, something like that. Gulf Brook Estates. Ha! Looks like there's some nice houses out there. I guess Portland's a little bit of a golf hub, isn't it? Oh, here we are, College Corner again. There's no college here. You can't call it College Corner and not have a college. That's alright. We're in Portland. Passing the golf course now. Looks like there's a whole bunch of fellas out here. Maybe that's what I need to do. I need to get into golf. Make some friends. There's like a rec center here. It's kind of similar to the Y. I guess they have some sports teams. I mean, unless they've got like football or something, then I don't know if I'll be too inclined to participate in any of that. I'm not a great basketball player. Never have been. I can wrestle. I'm a damn good wrestler. But I don't know a whole lot of adults that are doing that. You know, I thought about doing like an MMA gym or something, learning some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, getting back into shape, but kind of lazy. Not lazy enough to go and see Hoosier Hill.
In 1 mile, arrive at Portland.
Yes. We made it to Portland. Portland Church of the Nazarene. Don't know much about them. It is nice to see civilization. Looks like there's more than 5 people that live here. Very pleasant. Very nice. Portland does have some fine houses, I will say. Nothing super spectacular, but not quite Wabash by any means, but there's a few homes here that are very nice. None of which are for sale, of course. And even if they were, they would be far outside of my price range. Says the man driving an 05 Ford Taurus. Man, I'm gonna look at myself in a few years and just think I'm so stupid. And I'm gonna be right. And that's okay. Everybody's stupid when they're young. Downtown Portland. think about it, Portland, Indiana was probably founded before Portland, Washington, or whatever state Portland's in. I don't fucking know. Definitely odd to think about. There's the post office. Every town's got one. All right, Walnut Street. Our house in the middle of Walnut Street. I guess it's not in the middle of Walnut Street. It's actually off to the side. Yeah, it's very unlikely that I'll be including any of these ramblings. She was very pretty. She probably didn't think I was. That's okay. Our house in the middle of Walnut Street. Our house in the middle of Portland, Indiana.
Turn left onto East High Street, then turn right onto North Meridian Street.
We're home. I guess if this isn't just another one of my phases and I decide to keep this up, keep doing it, I'll be out again next week. It's very possible that I'll just drop this and never do it again, but you know, a habit has to start somewhere. So if I can 1 week at a time, every week, go somewhere, do something, could be interesting to look back on it in 20, 30 years. Could be cool. If anybody else is watching this, you know, hopefully you got some kind of enjoyment out of it, even though I just kind of pointlessly rambled and didn't see anything interesting today. Or maybe, you know, if I have like a 400 videos posted on here, it'll be like, oh wow, this was the first one, you fucking sucked. No, but realistically it'll be me, and I guess future me is probably, if he's still watching, is fucking cringing his fucking mind out right now, just absolutely losing his mind. Yeah, Indiana. Now I have to go edit all this. This isn't gonna be fun, not in the fucking slightest.